Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah. The Queen of Shade. Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Salutations, Dufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another very special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know amazing people, talking to people that interest me, talking to people that are different, talking to people from all walks of life. I am thoroughly enjoying my job. And with having said that, with saying that, I have someone that you need to meet. This young man, I've been following for quite a long time. He doesn't know that. He's going to find that out tonight. He's an artist, first and foremost, a model, a fashion stylist, and also a little bit of an alien. So we are going to speak to him tonight and get to know more about him together. And you will see why I'm following him and why I adore him. And you will get to know him and adore him and follow him as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce all of you to Jonzu.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for that intro. That was great.
Yeah, it's listen.
Good. How are you?
It's serious over here. We had a little technical difficulty, but we fixed it. Like it's serious over here. This ain't no. We don't play around.
It is Jupiter retrograde, and here we are.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. I didn't look. Okay. Well, we made it. We're still here. We're here.
We made it.
Ready to do what we do. So now I can ask you, how's your Friday going?
I mean, besides the retrograde, it's going. I'm alive, so that's great.
I love your voice.
Thank you. I get told that, and I get shocked because I hate the sound of my own fucking voice, but thank you.
Really? Okay, so let me start.
I truly do. I truly hate the sound of my voice.
So get this. When I was younger, I used to hate the sound of my voice too. But I'm bringing this up. It was because other people said or did things and kind of blamed it on, well, this is, you have a funky voice, you have a fucked up voice, it's wrong. And I hated it for so many years. And then after many years of therapy, 15 to be exact, still ongoing, I learned to love my voice. And it brought me all that I have. My entire empire today is built on the thing that I hated. So I'm just trying to pay it forward, because you have your speaking voice is one to where when you speak, we listen, people pay attention, you speak clearly, properly. It's not one that can be confused. It's also distinct, unique. And those are the things in the world, especially as an artist. And, in fact, those are the things that help you get ahead,
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that, listen, I'm a man. I could have very easily taken testosterone pills and dropped my voice.
Yeah.
I could have done that. But I didn't want to, because somewhere deep inside of me, I actually did like it. I just didn't know if I had the permission to like it, if it was allowed for me to like it, because everybody had always said it's bad.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from that, that's just me doing a little shaman work. I just have to plant a little seed.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm a shaman, oracle, prophecy, a healer. I do all of that. So that's just me planting the seeds so that later on they germinate. And it's just so that when you're by yourself and you say something, you just go, maybe it's not so bad. My work is done.
All right.
Yeah. So
one day I'll love it and I'll text you like, all right, you did, you know what? You fixed my mind. Thank you so much.
Right. Especially around something that is so beautiful. And I find that oftentimes, because you even have alien in your description, when we are different, I was different and peculiar my entire life. I've cross-dressed since I was 8 years old. My own family ridiculed me for it. It was just, they saw no purpose for the things that I was doing. And as a child, you want to fit in with your family. You want them to love you and like you. So to be rejected and have them say, this part of you is not acceptable, that really did some damage on my spirit, my soul, my mind, my body. And it took me so many years. I'll be 40 in September. It took me years to undo that, undo that. And I just say that because I look back in my life and, I tell people, I modeled too. When I was 22 years old, back in 2005, I got the opportunity to go to Paris for 6 months as a fashion model. And there, now mind you, my family had kicked me out. I was homeless. So I was homeless in America, flew to France, had a place, staying with a beautiful man and pursuing my fashion career. And things were happening. But they said to me then, you're very feminine. Your arms are long. You have a very feminine build. Your face is feminine. Have you ever thought about just putting on a wig? And I couldn't do it because I was worried about what they had said to me in America. And I did not want to make them right. Now, mind you, they threw me out. I'm homeless in America, and I'm standing on the precipice of a career that would have changed everything. And I couldn't pull the trigger because I cared what they thought. Putting on a wig meant that they were right. And honestly, I forfeited that opportunity. I had to come home. I forfeited. That was 17 years ago. I just don't want you to make the same mistake. So we're staying here. I don't want you, like Jonzu.
Well, if the opportunity ever presents and I'm asked to put on a wig, I will put that wig on. For sure.
Well, I know that. Like, I know that part. But for you, it's, when I say for you, I mean if the opportunities present themselves for you to speak, just as someone who has no regrets, just do it. Just speak. Just you think of it. Listen to this. Here we go. I'm see that we didn't even get into the interview. I'm doing what I really am put on this planet to do. You said that, I saw it, and I can't leave it alone. So get this. The Essence magazine fashion editor at the time in 2005 was a woman named Ionia Dunley. I met her in Paris. She saw me in passing. I was getting into shows based on my look. I was getting in and I was getting seats. And she said to me, you could be a freelance fashion journalist because you've seen more shows than most of us. And then she gave me some parting advice. And it was, and mind you, I was only interested in modeling. I actually, because I was still in that hateful voice mode, I didn't want them to know I could sing. I'm a mezzo soprano. I didn't want them to know. So I didn't want to use this as much. I went there to just be silent and use my face and just walk and use my body. And she said to me, you have to use every talent that you possess to arise a respected opinion in this business. And she was so right. She was so right. The thing about yourself that you may not care too much about, throw it on the resume. Because as you can see, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. Okay, so Mr. Jonzu, tell us where you were from, where you were born.
Okay, born and raised New Yorker. Born in the Bronx, raised in Manhattan, like Harlem and the Upper East Side. And then my teens, I was in Westchester. So I was there from 13 until 25. So most of my life was spent in the fucking suburbs. I did like a little stint in college. I was living in Brooklyn when I was like 18 for a year and a half. But like most of my life was in Westchester, and I was just a weirdo in the suburbs, and that was the thing. And that was my life. And
No, I said, go ahead, keep going.
Oh yeah, so obviously being from Westchester, and the specific area I was in, New Rochelle, so close to Manhattan. So when I was a kid, I would like take trips by myself to the city and just like live out my city kid life and get into all kind of shenanigans and adventures and all types of things that I was not supposed to be doing at age, I don't know, 14 through 16.
Yeah. When did you find your way into modeling in New York?
This is a recent development.
Really?
Very recent. Yeah. So I started off as a stylist, actually designer. I went to school for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Parsons or FIT?
Neither. Art Institute.
Art Institute. Okay. Yeah, I forgot that's there too. Go ahead.
No longer. So they closed most of their schools. I think it was like 2015. There was like this big lawsuit. But yeah, I was there literally like the year before they started closing their schools.
Wow.
So yeah, I went to Art Institute, studied design. Actually, studied design in high school too. Like that was my passion. I thought growing up, like, oh, I'm gonna be a designer, or like I think my passion was like designer or actor, but I chose designer because I'm like, I really love fashion. So I thought that was a trajectory that I was going to be on. And then I ended up choosing styling instead. Like when I was in college for design, you had to do your internships and all that for credits. So my internship was at a fashion magazine. I was at this magazine called Essential Ohm.
Okay.
So I was under the editor and I was his assistant. And I was doing all things like grabbing all the clothes, getting his coffee, the typical assistant type thing. And I don't know, like being in that world, I was like, you know what, styling is a lot more fun. Like you kind of like play dress up and make people look the way you kind of want to have them look in your vision within a concept. And I thought that was really cool. And you could also utilize your design skills. It's also like, it's kind of like an upper hand to have design skills. Yes. So yeah, I kind of just jumped from design to styling. And so from age 20 up until still now I'm a stylist. But yeah, I just did that. And I thought up until COVID that the trajectory was, all right, stylist to, I don't know, fashion editor or creative director or something like that. COVID happened and I had to change gears. I had no work and nothing to do. So decided just to work out like crazy and try to look hot.
Yeah.
And yeah, started modeling and I ended up getting signed, I don't know, like a few months into the quarantine. And yeah, I've been pretty much more of a model than a stylist these days.
So who are you signed with?
I'm with We Speak Models.
We Speak?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are they located in New York?
I mean, I guess Manhattan.
I think it is Manhattan.
I don't even know if they have like a central office, but
yeah,
like but what's really cool about them is their whole thing is about diversity, inclusion, and like most of their models are like, I don't know, like all their models are pretty like unique and interesting in their own way, which is really great.
Yeah.
And they also do these things like they have these like family check-ins where we like do like a Zoom call with everyone and just like check in, make sure we're all good, and kind of like see what we want to do and where we want to go within our modeling careers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have a lot of friends that are models with different agencies and like they don't have that. And it's often the case, like, you know, they're hot and it's like they kind of just sit on a modeling board for months. And it could be a big agency, but they're just sitting on that board for months and get no work, and the agency doesn't really care about them or check in. And I don't know, I love that about mine.
You are absolutely right. This conversation, now I'm excited because this conversation is, you're talking my language. We speak the same language. So yes, first of all, shout out to your agency, We Speak, for being so invested in their models and caring about not just how you look, but your well-being, and not just your well-being, where you would like to go. Modeling, and this is for everyone watching, they need to understand this because we do. Modeling, in the business of modeling is a stepping stone. It's usually somewhere where we start, and you can, especially in modeling, if you're a successful model, you can make money. Takes a while at first, and this is everybody. Marcus Schenkenberg, you talked about how he cried in Paris and sleeping on a mattress. It can be hard at first, but once you are a face that they are familiar with, regular with, they desire, you can make a lot of money really fast. Now, usually, you have models that go on to other things. I'm just going to name a few. Mila Jovovich, Heidi
I love
Klum.
Mila.
Yeah, I love Mila too. So Mila Jovovich, Heidi Klum, Tyra Banks, they go into other areas. Beverly Johnson, they go do other things. Pat Cleveland, like there are a lot of Deborah Shaw, like there's a lot of models that they use it, and they're still modeling today. Leah Kabidi, they're still, modeling today. They're asked to do things because people just love them. But modeling is usually something that most people consider a kid thing. It's for somebody's young kids. They do this, and after that they make this money and they look good, and then they go off and into the world and do something more. What is the word? I want to say business oriented. Something more grown up is what I really wanted to say.
Yeah.
So for those of us, especially for African American models, it's very hard to get signed. It's very hard to even maintain. And get this, Black female models have more of a chance than male models that are Black. Because I too have friends, and I've had friends for 20 years whom Greek gods just melanated, and they get signed and they sit the entire 2 years of their contract, and then their contract is not renewed. And one of the tricks of the trade that I learned was, they would always say, you got to stay on your booker. You got to stay on your booker. Your booker's the only one who knows you're alive. You're the only one who's going to care. And then it would be situations where if the booker left the agency, you better find out where he went. Like it used to be, like, and I'm talking back, I'm talking back, like, we're talking 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, in that era. So it was like, you better find out where he or she went, because they are the only one who gives a hell about your face, your look, your career.
Yeah.
But so, first of all, I commend you. Now, would you please tell us, how did the signing go down? How did the approach go? How did they approach you? Because this is the thing I tell young models. It doesn't just happen. You don't just walk in off the street and get a contract. There's a process to that, so tell us, can you walk us through a little bit of how they saw you, the series of interviews you had to do, and because they bring you in and they want to see you. The pictures ain't enough, and people don't know that. Pictures are not enough. They want you to come in, no makeup, no nothing, and they look at your whole body. People are not, young, especially Black kids coming from inner city. They're not used to that. They come in and it's like, okay, well, we need to take this off. And you learn to become very comfortable with being naked in a room.
Yeah.
Because they have to change these.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, that goes along with my other, I guess, alter ego double life. So along with all this, like, I'm also a porn performer, which is also like, so that kind of, honestly, like, the modeling and the porn kind of happened at the same time. And I don't know, I'm just like living this really fun, interesting double life.
You see me my face going through changes here. Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, honey, do tell mother all.
It's not really that big a secret. I mean, a lot of people
wait a minute. Oh, we have a live one here today. So tell me how your modeling agency, like, what was the process? Let's start there. What was the process?
All right. So again, because I signed during not during quarantine, but like during the pandemic. Like, I think it was quarantine started March, and I signed in, I want to say, August or September.
Yeah.
So it really was like kind of like the heyday and craziness of fucking COVID.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't an in-person meeting, but I remember a few months after quarantine, I was like just shooting a ton with friends that were photographers that had nothing to do.
Yeah.
I also had nothing to do, and I was working out a ton, and my body was looking great. So I was like, all right, like, I just want to like just shoot some stuff. I had, I have a lot of really fun clothes to work with too. So I was like, I just want to just do some stuff for fun.
Yeah.
So I was shooting with some photographers and just, I don't know, I guess building a little book for myself, not fully with the intention of becoming a full out model, but just like, all right, let's see what happens. Like maybe I'll have a second job along with styling because there was nothing for styling. Like I was broke the first couple months of
Right.
quarantine.
Right.
Yeah, so she doing all these shoots, posting them on Instagram, these more risque photos than I was used to posting of myself. Like I dabbled with modeling here and there over the years, but never seriously. Like I would, just do a token shoot just for fun. There was a couple
Right.
fun projects that I got to do professionally. Like remember I did like maybe 2 or 3 editorials.
Right.
That just kind of I stumbled upon, but only because being a stylist, I work with so many creatives, and
Yeah.
I would show up to set in my outfits. So like, you have kind of a cool look. Like I want to shoot you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like so over the years, I kind of just stumbled on it. But again, like never took modeling 100% seriously or as a career job. But yeah, so I was posting all these like half naked things on Instagram and more like no clothes kind of shoots. And
Right.
after a while, I was like, maybe I should like, I don't know, submit to some agencies. So I submitted to a few, We Speak included. And I think like a week after I submitted to them, they got back to me like, oh, we like your look. We want to talk to you more. And so we chatted over email. Then we did I think it was a FaceTime or Zoom call.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I chatted with the person in charge and then with my now booker. And I would say about a month later I was signed with them.
Now watch this. So you're signed. How is it getting work? Do they call you regularly for work?
Oh yes. Oh yes. They get me on castings all the time. So it's not like every week, but I would say I go to in-person casting at least 3 to 4 times a month.
Yep.
And because I'm still a stylist as well, like I don't know, I'm juggling a lot of balls. So it's
Yeah.
like styling gigs and then like actual shoots that I book either through them or through Instagram, because Instagram is the best platform for just
Yeah.
booking stuff.
Yep.
So that and then porn and OnlyFans stuff. So it's like juggling a whole lot of stuff. So when I can go, I go to 3 to 4 castings that they get me, and then just whatever client that sees me on their website is like, oh, I want to book it, and like put a hold on him. So that's another thing. And actual jobs that I book through them, I don't know, I would say at least 1 to 2 jobs a month, which isn't terrible.
I like what you said. See, these people watching, they don't understand how fashion and modeling works. The client sees you and then says, we want him, put a hold on him. So
And it
that
doesn't mean that it's not confirmed. It's never fully confirmed. And it's like,
right.
it happens it happens super often. We're like, we like him, like put a hold. And then, they choose someone else, which happens because it's me up against thousands of other dudes from tons of different agencies around the world.
Yes.
So, and I obviously we all tell ourselves like, I'm like, tell yourself you're special, you got this. But in the reality of it, like you are still up against thousands of other people. Someone might look similar to you and they just want them, or they could do something. Maybe it's an athletic job and you don't have this specific skill set under your belt. Who knows? But yeah, it's you versus thousands of other people. And yeah, we all look. You're in your model. You all look great. We all look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But you're not always gonna get the job, and for me, it's fine. Like I accepted that I'm not always gonna get the gig.
Question.
Yeah.
What's your end game, darling? You're styling, you're modeling. Tell me, because I hear it. Tell me what you really want to do, your passion. What is it that you want? The person you see yourself to be, the job you want above all. Because all of these things that you're doing are vehicles to get you somewhere. Identify for me where that destination is.
That's a good one. Honestly, like I've just been mainly going with the flow, and then obviously like, I have goals. Like I do this thing where like I write down 6 months. Like I used to do like 1 year and 2 year goals, but I don't know. I feel like that's just really like you never know what's gonna happen with that. So I just stick within 6 month goals, and it's typically a bunch of things that might not ever happen or they're really far fetched, but at least they're somewhat attainable within a few months, like just depending on like what I'm doing and who I'm networking with and whatever else. But I don't know, like I guess in the long run of things, like it would be great if I I don't know, ventured into actual acting, like, I don't know, being a fucking movie star or even a rock star. That'd be fun too. Um, my thing also is just like I like to choose a thing, and whatever it is, and just like be really awesome at it, and then move on to the next thing. So right now, modeling, I've been doing this kind of seriously for like a year and a half. So I guess I don't know, reach bigger status with that, get a couple billboards or something.
So is it
And
safe
then
to say that you're a performer and your dream is to be an actor?
maybe, but not 100%. Like I love modeling, and I would like to, I don't know, pursue this more, like be on more covers and do billboards and things like that. It's fun to do different shoots and play different characters. So I guess that does kind of go along with acting. So, and I have heard from tons of people like you really should try acting, and I don't know, maybe
No,
we'll
I,
see.
I said acting, but no, I'm asking you what your dream is. And from what I'm hearing from you is you're a fashion kid. You love fashion, you live for
I
fashion.
do love fashion.
So guess what? I do all the things
But the weird thing is, like, I do love fashion, and again, pre-COVID, the dream was fashion editor, creative director. But I don't know. I guess it's the narcissist in me or the vanity. It's like I do love the attention and being in front of the camera and, like, I don't know, being
but
a
those go hand in
personality.
hand. But those go hand
They
in
they
hand.
do.
Because if
They do.
get this, a lot of fashion editors, a lot of editor in chiefs, a lot of directors and curators, they were models when they started. Ionia
Yeah.
Dunlea, back in 2005, I sat and I spoke to her, and she told me she was telling me her story. She started as a fashion model, and then she was in between castings. You know how it gets slow.
Hmm.
She was in between castings, and someone said to her, and I'm telling part of her story, so I'm not telling it all, but the abridged version, she told me that someone said, hey, it's not a fashion job, but we have a job where you could kind of
Hmm.
take hand at a magazine and kind of do
Yeah.
some assistant work. And she said the rest was history. And she actually gave up modeling and became an editor. Yeah, fashion editor. And
Yeah.
like, so my thing is, what I want people to understand about fashion, and what I heard you say, like, there's no reason to leave it. There is no reason
Yeah.
to leave. There is no reason to leave it. And I'm going to explain why. Because fashion is built for people that have great minds, first of all. Great minds, great energy, great potential. But then also, it is also purchased and absorbed by the wealthiest people in the world.
Yeah.
So there will never be a shortage of patrons. It's a business that flourishes even through COVID, honey. The designers were putting their shows out. We were watching them on YouTube. We were, even though there was no audience, those clothes were tailored and ready to go. Like, they were, because of the clientele. You can do a job in fashion and make more than some people make in a year.
Yeah.
And that is, honestly, that's one thing I love about fashion. I love that because it allows me to be eccentric. I do all my styling myself. So what you see me wearing, I saw and I picked it up, and it had a black kind of like dress to go underneath it. And I just simply separated it and wore this, and it kind of, like, you see it kind of separate, it kind of just covers the erogenous zones, but
The
it gives,
décolletage.
yes, you see, but it gives you, it's all fluffy here, and the skirt, and like, it's so fashion, you can play with fashion, but fashion, you never have to leave it. When I had to leave Paris, it broke my heart. I left my heart in Paris, and my entire life dealing with mental illness and all the things that I've dealt with, getting myself together, even my recording career, because now I'm an international recording artist. I have 3 albums out. I had 4. I took one down from the market because I want to do some more things to it. I don't feel that it's ready, so I just snatched it back. But I have currently 3 albums out. One has 50 songs on it. I wrote it. I co-produced it. It's amazing to me. My voice turned out to be something I loved. But everything that I do and did is so that I can move to Paris and return to the fashion community, because people don't understand. If you're in fashion, you need nothing else. You need nothing else. It is just that wealthy of a community. You can make your bones and never have to leave it. Mm-hmm. So tell me, I love that, this is kind of a story that never happens though. You're in New York, you're born in New York, you're a native New Yorker, and you run around the city, then you get signed. First you're doing fashion styling, then you get signed, and now you're modeling. Like, this doesn't happen, but I remember even being in Paris, they would try to brush me off. And they would say, well, yeah, you have a great look, because they always said it, and nobody ever said to me, you don't have the look. So it was always, you have a great look, but you've got to be local. That was always how they got me. You got to be local. Yeah. You got to be local. You got to be local. So, and a lot of agencies, especially in Europe, I corresponded with over the computer. So they didn't know I was coming. So they say, oh yeah, we saw you, we remember you, because you remind them, these are the correspondents. I spoke to this person, because that helps you get signed, it helps you get in. Oh, okay, well, if this person saw something in you, we'll give you a shot. So they kept saying to me, well, you're not local, you're from America, you're just visiting. And I said, no, I'm local.
Yeah.
And then they would be like, oh, I'd be like, yes, I moved here. And they're like, oh, well, okay, well, and then listen, they had to, because this was the problem. I'm just gonna be honest. This then was the problem. So I blew the you're not local out of the water. So then it had to be something else. So they go, okay, well, now this was, and now mind you, this is before I shot with the legendary Chicago-born, Paris-based photographer, Ernest Collins. He died last year, heart problems, but he shot me. And this was before he shot me, and 3 agencies signed me in one day based on his name. But it was, okay, well, before that, before I got to him, it was, okay, you're local. Now we'll call you, fill this out, fill these papers out, no contract. You see this? No contract. Fill this paper out, tell us where you are, your address, your phone number, we'll call you if we have something, because they're testing you. So they didn't call me. Then they call me and they're like, oh, well, we might have something for you. Now, see, you're not going through this, because thank God your agency loves you. They love you. Because if they Zoom calling with you, they want to make sure where you are at all times, because also you are their investment. See? So they checking, they love you, but they also checking on their money. They like, okay, what's going on? You haven't scratched yourself today, People don't realize. Yeah, people don't realize. This is fashion. This body is important. So then they call me and they say, listen, we might have something for you, but how old are you? And I was like, I'm 22. Oh, that's too old. So we'll call you if we have something else. And then they never called me again. And then I go around to them before Fashion Week and I'm like, could you help me get into Fashion Week? And they laughed in my face. Laughed in my face and said, we're bookers and we don't even get into Fashion Week. So how are we going to get you in? Next thing you know, I'm backstage being filmed by televisions, talking to designers, sipping champagne. And they're like, who the hell are you? And the attitude I love about fashion is if you act like you belong there, they won't question you.
Exactly.
Have the look.
There's many a fashion show I've snuck into in my life.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So listen. You know.
Oh, I know.
If you look like
when
you
I
belong
somehow
there.
ended up, when I ended up front row at Rick Owens' show right before COVID, and honestly, that was accidental. It wasn't even snuck in. Like, I was invited to the show, but I definitely was not front row. But I just so happened there, and I was like, all right, no one's questioning me. It's gonna stay here. It's gonna stay right here in the seat.
Yep. That. But what's so funny? That's how everybody gets in. That's how everybody gets in. Fashion is kind of like a town of misfits. I love it. I love it. We break all norms, and we don't fit anywhere else. And then we go, and someone sees us. I was at one show in Paris, and they saw me across because get this, I started to be my voice. I grew up in the suburbs. I started in the inner city in the projects. My grandmother was a teacher, educator, moved us to the suburbs. So the best thing I got out of the suburbs, it was a lot of suffering, but the best thing I got was the education. So I'm speaking to them and they're just like, oh, like even back then they were just like, who are you? So turn around and the Japanese editor of Vogue, Japan, saw me. And she said, "You're so beautiful." I said, "Thank you." I said, and I learned because I was getting good at this. So I started to ask by this time. I was afraid at first, but then I started to ask, "Do you have extra tickets? Do you have extra invitations?" And she said, "I can do you one better." She grabs me. It was Emmanuel Ungaro was the show. She grabs me. She brings me into Emmanuel Ungaro. I think I'm going to a seat. She says, "Sit here." I didn't look around. It was dark. Show was about to start. Lights come on, and I lie to you not, Jonzu. I lie to you not. Emmanuel Ungaro's runway, it was kind of like a U shape, but it was like a hard U, like that. So everybody's looking at me. And I think I start going, okay, but nobody's moving. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's moving. They saw her sit me there. It's under the telephoto lenses at the end of the runway where all the models are coming to hit their pose and sell the clothes and their face at the same time and then continue. I'm sitting under all of these telephoto lenses and get this, I knew fashion. So I'm sitting there with sunglasses on, my hair is long, I'm in all black. Like I'm like I'm reliving it right now. I'm looking like, and everybody's like, who the hell is that? And like literally from that moment, I started to make my way. Recently, I interviewed people that I met back then, Diane Pernay and other people that I met in Paris that are huge names. And they remembered me all these years later. And it was a blessing to have them say, you finally figured it out and you figured it out on your own. But everything I do is to return to that community. That's where I belong. Like you can, like I have friends, even because of what I do, doing this and being the Queen of Shade on Instagram and all the inspiration and things like that. I've met some amazing people who happen to be in fashion.
Yeah.
So, you know, they want me to come here and come there, and I'm not the party girl. I'm going to be 40. So I'm more of the workaholic girl, make your millions girl. You know, that's me. So, but it's so lovely to be able to do this in fashion and not have to look around.
Yeah.
Not have to look over your shoulder. And with you, they don't know, but they're going to see from the thumbnail picture that I've selected. I selected our thumbnail. Get this, I selected our thumbnail picture before I asked you to interview.
Huh.
Yep.
I really hope it's a good one.
It's an amazing one.
I trust your judgment.
Yes, it's an amazing one. And it just, yeah, I'm one of those. I'm spooky. So, but yeah, like fashion is just so beautiful. And I'm one of those people where, yeah, I see the models. Yeah, I see the photographers. Yeah, but I love it.
I mean, for me, I do love fashion. You know, obviously I've been doing this for such a big chunk of my life and I'm still currently doing it. But I think, I don't know, I think a mixture of quarantine, honestly, a little bit of BLM, and not having gigs and jobs that are not really fashion related, like the porn stuff. I don't know. It's given me a different perspective, and again, love it, but I don't know. It's not my end all be all anymore.
Right.
And I don't know. I kind of like get to enjoy it, but also sit back and not be a part of it. I'm like, yeah, it's honestly all of it is nefarious and kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why? Because it's nice to be in a position where you don't need it.
Yeah.
So many of us were going to it because we needed it. And now the tables have turned, even in your life and mine. We don't need it. We want it. And that's different. That's different. I don't have to go walk anyone's runway and try to make my name and my face famous anymore. I've got my star, you know, I've got my star. People always wonder what I'm wearing, and I'm not even wearing designer labels. You know, I'm already that. So it's nice to be able to do your own thing and not have to kind of march to the beat of the catwalk like everyone else. It's nice to have options. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about fashion. You go there because it's a way you think, I have a look, I need this, I need that. But the end game is to make $1 million. You know, like it's to make, like, let's face it, you know, you may have the right height, the right weight, the 30 waist, you know, all of those things that they require, but it's really to make $1 million. Like that's
to make some money.
Yes, like nobody.
And that's honestly, like, I stopped going to like, I remember when I was younger, and like, up until COVID, like, I would make sure I try to go to as many fashion shows as I can, especially New York Fashion Week. Like, as a stylist, you get invited to shows, and I would try to go to as many shows as I could and wear the coolest outfits and mingle with whoever I can mingle with and like do the fucking thing. But honestly, it's like, it's really just a, I guess, pissing contest of like, who are you wearing? Who do you know? Like, what show are you going to later? What party are you invited to? And it's like, it's all, none of it matters.
Yeah.
What I do know that matters now is having money and a stable job.
Yes.
Like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you got to get it how you get it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree, because I turn down invitations all the time because it's
so now it's like, like, honestly, now, look, I can give two shits about fashion.
Yeah,
like,
look at it.
I enjoy dressing up on a regular day, just kind of for myself, and if other people get to appreciate that or snap it, street style photographers get to snap it, that's great. But I don't know, none of it really matters.
You know what it is? I think I'll go in France. That's what it is.
I will say, Paris Fashion Week is.
Yeah, it just, but you know what? Even in the capacity is different, because I'll be going so that I can document the clothing that I'm seeing and tell my following.
You know what it is too? I think Paris Fashion Week, they treat it differently than New York. Like, New York, it's really, again, it's just like, you go show up and it's like, they could care less that you're even fucking there. It's like, it's like, I don't know, like you're doing them a favor by being there. In Paris, it's like they make it kind of communal. It's like they send really nice invitations, and there's usually really nice gifts, and there's always usually a party for the specific designer. And I don't know, they really treat you like fucking royalty, each and every person that goes to the show.
Yep. And I enjoyed that because it also gave me the opportunity to speak to designers. You know,
the designers are more receptive to talking to the guests.
And I, like, oh my God, his name was Yohei Yamamoto. I remember his show, and he was really like a renegade in fashion at that time, especially 2005. And he just, like, he made like the clothes were just like oversized, and I loved them. I loved them. It was in like a gymnasium kind of thing in Paris. And we go backstage, and I got the opportunity to tell him, I said, listen, this is the first time I've seen your show. And I was so blown away because I loved how avant-garde you were. You know, I didn't have to use big words. I was just, and get this, mind you, I'm talking to him in the moment. I don't know that the cameras are rolling and that they're catching what I'm saying. You know, I'm just sharing a moment with him because my one thing, contrary to popular belief about fashion, I love the clothes. I will cry over a garment, child. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm just like I love the clothes. I love the clothes. And it was kind of funny because I interviewed a fashion designer from Spain, and he started as a model himself. He's been modeling all his life, two of them, modeling since they were like 15 years old, and now they're 40 and they're still modeling and they're still gorgeous. Well, he designs haute couture, and he was the first person to ever send me a gown, haute couture gown. And I'm like it was such an honor. And he was just like, and then he was like, you have to come here. I want to dress you. I want to make something for you. And it's so funny because it's, as you said, I went out in the world and did my own thing. And that's being respected. You know, that is what is so powerful. And you're out in the world doing your own thing too. I see your lights in your house work. You got electricity. You got an iPhone. I got one. you know, like nice things in the background. Like that's what it's all about. People don't understand. You can have a love and a passion for something, but at the end game should be to be lucratively successful. Like, you've got to be able
happy within your own life.
Yeah, you got
honestly, and besides fashion, like just whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever your job is, like just happy within your own life.
Yes, I totally agree. So now I'm going to take you back because we were talking about that, but I'm curious. This is why I'm taking you a little back, and then we'll back up here and go forward. Are you an only child?
No, I have a brother, a younger brother who's close in age to me. I'm 28, he's 25, going on 26.
Okay. You are a baby. You are a baby. Only 28 years old.
I mean, as you know, as we've had this long conversation about fashion, I'm old as fuck in model years. So,
but you know what? Models I remember when models on MySpace started writing 100 years old. You remember that? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, when it said age, they would write 100 years old. Every model. I saw it on every model's page. And I'm like, what is the significance of this? Yeah, they would write 100 years old, because in fashion, your age is, I still never learned the significance. I'll have to ask one of these.
I mean, I think nowadays it doesn't really matter about the age. I think brands and design, like no one really cares about the age thing, but they still, especially with female models, male doesn't really matter what age you are, but I know so many girls that really like, there's such a stigma on age.
Yeah, because they always taught me that girls, they have such a set amount of years. They got to get in there and damn near cut throats to last. And guys,
I mean, that's like, it's always like a emphasis on girls looking young and like that kind of thing, with guys looking like men.
Yeah,
so that's why guys can kind of get away with older. Like you can get away with being in your 30s to 50s as a male model.
Yeah. Because the older men look the better, because they like men to be distinguished gentlemen. Women.
Which in theory is kind of disturbing that they want like a 16-year-old girl and a 50-year-old man. But.
Yeah, okay. He said it.
Yep.
Okay, but it's kind of disturbing. A 50-year-old man and 14 to 15.
The little fucking girl. Like,
Yeah. But that's fashion. Let's because I'm leaving that implication alone. I'm not gonna get my show.
Again, I think we've gotten better like the past 5 or 6 years, maybe even a little bit more. Like it's definitely become more diverse with age and even like race and gender and all of that. So that's cool.
Because you know what it is, designers are being more lax. Because the thing about it is, most designers are gay anyway. But they were trying to conform to rules that they felt they had to for fashion. And then everybody decided, the gay movement moved out front. Then it was like, oh, well, you can be a badass. So that now the designers are like,
it's really rare that I have a shoot where I'm with another female model, like I'm typically with other guys.
Right. It's and that's the thing, and that's another thing. People used to always say that to me. The industry is gay men. The industry. Photographer, designer, model. It's like the thing. And you have straights in there, but it's so funny because when a man says that he's straight in fashion, you side eye him. Because it's kind of like he becomes the unicorn.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like straight male photographers. Like I feel I feel like that's usually the norm, but like hair, makeup, stylists, like typically gay or women.
Yeah. But, I knew a lot of photographers and, I could tell they just had an affinity to the male physique and seeing it photographed certain ways.
I'm not mad at that. Honestly, it's like if I shoot, if I have like a gay guy photographer, I'm like, yes, like literally make me look hot. Like, how guys are supposed to look, make me look like that.
Exactly. Make me.
Because a straight man is not going to know what to tell me. Like, obviously they're going to say the generic things like, all right, flex a little harder or whatever.
But he's not going to tell you.
They're not going to, because they don't know, they're not sexually attracted to men, so they're not going to know what to say.
Yeah.
Even like, I think even female photographers, I think honestly, I do the best beauty with female photographers and the best body stuff with gay male photographers.
Yeah.
Because females know how to make a man or even girl's face look amazing.
Yeah.
Where gay males, like, I just want your body to look great.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care. Put a pillow over it.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, even as a gay man myself, like it was so, like, even on Instagram, and I've been helping and showcasing and compiling lists of men since like 2003. And like, even when I was on MySpace, there were so many models. I believed in them, and they were models of color. They were either Black or Hispanic, and I believed in them, and I kept in touch with them, and I supported them. And you know, it's just something I've always done. I believe in the male, especially African American and Latin, because we don't see that a lot in fashion.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of my push. Like, even with all that I've done, it is to bring these type of men to the catwalk, because it's like, yes, now listen, you can't have huge men. I do understand that, but you can definitely have a football player put on a suit and walk down. Come on now. And have the first 3 buttons undone. Come on now. I'm like, come on now. These are men, like, especially Black men in suits. We look the best in suits. Have you ever seen? And then let them be a Michael, Michael Alexander McQueen. Let's say that, or a Tom Ford, especially Tom Ford. Tom Ford, a Black man in a Tom Ford suit. Are you kidding me? We'll shut down the event. The whole red carpet will get backed up, because photographers are like, it's just, and for designers, sometimes I feel like designers ignore our melanin. And it's like, no, you shouldn't do that, baby. We got it. We got it. They actually said it to me in Paris. We don't have a Black market. We don't have an Asian market. Asians don't wear our clothes. Blacks don't wear our clothes. Well, of course they were exaggerating. But for the most part, and what I love more is I'm seeing a lot of Black designers, Olivier, there's so many designers that are just Black, and they're coming up and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. One of my friends in Paris, I don't know if you might know him because he's famous in France, but fashion designer, his name is Vincent McDoon. And he was a TV presenter there. That's how he rose to fame. He did it on his own. He knew no one when he went to Paris. And then he came there and he got into fashion, and he creates some of the most beautiful dresses, and he knows everyone. And one of his favorite models, he was like, you got to meet her. Her name is Cindy Bruni, I think it is. And he was like, you need to, come here. You got to come back. And I'm like, I'm coming, because now I have help. Like, now I am who I am. So now everybody's like, oh, come, but it's just it's a beautiful industry, but it has a lot of ugliness to it too. So it's good.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yes.
Again, it's gotten better. It still has its flaws, but I'll take where we are now than where we were. I don't know.
Based on before. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still have occasional run-ins with old fashioned, whether it be a photographer or I don't know, a hairstylist or whatever. And it's like, oh great, like you still have the mindset of 2003.
Yeah. So so real quick, and then we'll segue. Do you do runway? Do you catwalk?
Oh no. I am not runway height. So my agency has me as 5'11". I am actually 5'9", but I'm always in platforms, so no one actually knows my real height. I don't even really know my real height.
You just told the world. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, maybe it's 5'9". Honestly, I really couldn't tell you.
Okay.
It's anywhere between 5'9" and 6'2", to be honest.
He said on a day, catch me outside.
Yeah, catch me outside. It'll be a different height. But yeah, no, I don't do runway, and runway doesn't really pay. It doesn't. So
unless you're a name, unless you're in,
I don't know, Kendall or Gigi, you're not gonna get paid. You might get
or the Giselle Bunchens, and you can walk down 300,000, bro.
And as a male model, you're really not getting anything. So I'm super fine doing commercial gigs in print and editorial.
Commercial pays more anyway,
It really does.
It
It
does.
really
That's
does.
where the money is. That's where the money is. And
I
most
remember I got offered a runway thing,
Mhm.
and I couldn't make it because I was in LA anyway. But
Yeah.
the pay was $200, which isn't terrible. Like, 200.
What you mean? Which isn't terrible? That's terrible.
$200, and it's like, and then I didn't get the gig, but it was a commercial gig, and it was like, I think 5,000 plus 1,500 for usage, and it's like, I think I'll happily take that. I didn't get it, but like, yeah.
No, $200. No. And $200. Then I heard this rumor that models didn't get paid for Fashion Week. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. These designers, y'all got budget. It's things we wanted, the things we got to fit. You and I, we got.
Yeah, I'm super fine staying away from Fashion Week. Yeah. So cool with that now.
Yeah, like
I used to get FOMO a little bit, like, oh, I didn't get invited to this show or whatever, but now it's like, whatever. Like, and we all know most of the clothes that are shown, we don't actually have access to. They're not sold. They're just samples. So like, it's all stupidity. It's a bunch of money thrown into nothing.
But you know what it is? It's kind of crazy.
And I would like, at least I would like to think, and I thought this before, like, all right, like, it's at least all for a fantasy. If you love fashion, it's for that fantasy. But New York fashion is not great. So by and large, you're seeing shows showcasing very mediocre clothing.
You know what it is too? All of the rich people live in Europe. Like they're in Europe.
Europe or Asia.
Yeah, Europe or Asia. And it's like, then you have women whose husbands are super wealthy, and there was this one Asian woman, I think she was in Thailand, not Asian, but she was in Thailand, and she literally had a closet. It was built, it looked like a department store, and she just had it was photographed because they couldn't believe all of the things that she had. She would but women, I'm just going to say that women keep fashion alive.
Yeah, totally.
Women keep fashion alive. Yeah,
100%.
Okay, we've reminisced. I've reminisced. I've gotten my fashion fixed for today. So tell me, Mister, how did we get into adult entertainment and adult?
I was waiting for it. Oh my god.
Yeah, adult film.
All right, let's get into it. It started when I was doing all these shoots and the nude shoots and all that. So the nude shoots led to an OnlyFans. I was like, all right, like, I guess I'll do that because people are making fucking bank right now with OnlyFans, and I can just safely do this at home with my mask on. So so I was doing all these nude shoots, posting those on OnlyFans, and then 3 or 4 nude shoots later led to filming me and a guy having sex, and did a couple of those.
Right.
And then I want to say it wasn't about, maybe it was like 2 or 3 months, and I ended up with a porn manager. He saw my OnlyFans, he saw my Twitter and the Instagram and the photos and all that stuff. And he was like, oh, like, you have a cool look. Like, I think I want to sign you. And I was like, all right, that'd be great. Like, cool. Interesting enough. And I'm not going to say who the manager is because that'll get me in trouble. But
don't do that.
He's great. He's great. He's really sweet. His agency is awesome. I'm just going to put it out there that I am the only Black person there.
Yes.
In the roster, which is, it's a double-edged sword. Like, the great part of it is like, there's literally no one of my complexion. So it's like, all right, like, I do stick out like a sore thumb. The other edge of the sword is like, what the fuck? Like, why is there no other Black men on this roster? And it, it's pretty much like a boutique management. So I've learned in porn, it's like the nepotism of it. And I don't know, all of it. It's very similar to fashion. It's very like elitist and very much like, all right, like, you have to look a certain way, and this is what's hot, and this is what's deemed attractive. It's very similar to the way fashion works, just in a different way because people are taking their clothes off and having sex.
Yeah.
Actually, still similar to fashion, but
I'm not saying anything.
So that's actually still similar.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying everything.
So I ended up with the porn manager, and took a while, but I would say, I don't know, 6 or 7 months later, I got to do my first studio scene. So that was last April.
Yeah.
And I shot with Noir Male.
Yeah.
So they're, yeah, I would say like the pinnacle of Black porn.
Yeah.
They pay really well, so that's
Yeah.
great.
Tell us what's your porn name so that everybody can look.
Jordan Jameson.
Jordan Jameson. All right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Okay, confession. Listen, I told you, I scour the internet for men from all over the world, especially the Black and the brown. Yeah. I saw your porn on Twitter.
Not shocking. Not shocking at all.
And get this, it was well done. And get this, because I followed you. See, yeah.
I want to be 100% honest with you. I watch literally the smallest tidbits of my porn. I do not fully watch it, especially like the professional studio stuff with like B-roll and acting. I don't fucking look at it. Like, it mortifies me. So I have no idea what I sound like, but nor do I want to know.
But it's what happened was I followed you for a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. I've been following you for a while. And I was on Twitter because, get this, I don't even give my Twitter name because I will now because I don't care. But I usually don't give my Twitter because I'm not really trying to build it. I only have Twitter to look at the adult content. That is the only reason.
Honestly, most of my friends literally have Twitter.
Yes.
You have Twitter just for that reason.
Yes,
yeah.
like
Twitter porn is great.
It like my bio says, I am an adult. My likes are adult oriented. I'm not going to censor myself for you. If you shouldn't, if you're not supposed to be looking at this, censor yourself. Like that's where it is. But get this, I was acquainted with your modeling. So when I was scrolling, because you can absorb very quickly. And I do, because it's sight, and especially men. Men are stimulated by sight, women by touch. So I'm scrolling, and I came across you, and I was like, I was like, and then you know how, because you like it, you heart it and you like it and you save it, because it saves it in your likes. I couldn't find it again. I couldn't find it again because I was moving so fast. And then I was like,
already down the Twitter porn rabbit hole.
Yeah, like I was like, I think that was him. I'm not sure if it was him. So that's why I didn't start the interview saying that. And then when you said it, I was like, oh, well, do tell mother all, because then now I know it was you. Because I just was like, but my thing is, I'm glad that you're liking it. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. And it's kind of ironic because, like you said, it is like fashion, because it's not something you do forever.
Yeah.
Like,
so I mean, so to go back to your question a while ago with what I wanted to do, honestly, the main thing that my brain is trying to do now, I don't know, I'm just trying to do something differently. Do something differently within porn, within fashion. There's not really anyone that looks like me specifically in porn. Even in fashion.
Or in fashion. I was gonna say, or in fashion.
I mean, there's a couple people that have a similar kind of aesthetic going on, and I'll give them that. But I think I'm really just trying to like put my stamp on shit, show that you can be fucking weird and different, but still mainstream enough to I don't know, be shown worldwide, I guess.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, with your porn manager, do they book you for speaking engagements so you can talk about like prep and all of these things? Because
I actually book things like that on my own. Yeah, I get like just random, like, I guess, influencery kind of gigs through Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, see, see. Okay, so what have you learned, kids? You can have managers in fashion and film and still have to do shit yourself.
Yes, I think I get the best things on my own.
Yeah, honestly, I did too. I tried to do the agency thing and it didn't work out, and I was so frustrated trying to make it happen. And then I get signed to 3 agencies in one day because of shooting with a legendary photographer in Paris. And then you find out They're not getting me any work. So that I gotta, and me,
Right.
I'm not one to let the grass grow under my feet. So I'm getting my
Mhm.
own stuff.
Like honestly, like when you're hungry enough and really know
Yeah.
yourself well enough, like you know how to sell yourself
Yep.
better than anyone else.
Yep. And now with this whole manifestation of social media,
Mhm.
you can book
You can
anything.
connect with anyone and everyone.
Yup, you can book anything and everything now yourself.
Mhm.
Discuss payment, discuss how you get payment. You literally, they can cash app you the fee right to your, right to your bank. Like
Yeah, like
what?
there's honestly like there's so many artists and like yeah, artists and creatives that I've worked with that I just connected with randomly on Instagram. And I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I don't know why you're following me. Like you have, I don't know, 10 million followers. Like this is insane. Even celebrities sometimes like, why are
Yes.
you following me? And it's
Because you're
I
dope
mean,
as fuck.
I know I'm pretty cool sometimes.
You're dope
But
as fuck.
but no, like I do have moments where I'm like, oh shit, like you're actually following me and like
Yes.
interacting with me, like
Yes.
this, and I like, and it's the case sometimes, like oh shit, like I saw you on TV, or I'm actually a big fucking fan, and it's
Yep.
like humbling and like really shocking at the same time.
Yeah. No, I go through that too with the Queen of Shade. There were a lot of people that when I wasn't the Queen of Shade, when I was struggling, when I was trying to get through and figure out what my next move was, I looked to people and, kind of as inspiration. And now, even if I don't talk to them on camera, I've had conversations with all of them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then to have them say to me, what you're doing is so monumental. And I'm just like, wow, thank you. Like it's a full circle kind of moment when it happens.
Hmm.
So, okay. So now let's segue. Do you travel much? Like, and when I say travel, I mean LA and then like out of the country. Do you travel much?
So I haven't been out of the country since literally right before the pandemic. So I was in France
Yeah.
like a few days before the pandemic hit. So I got back and it was like quarantine. It was like, oh shit. So
Right.
yeah, literally like, oh wow, like this is now my life.
Right.
And literally if I left like a day or two later, like I would have probably been stuck in Paris, which wouldn't have been the worst thing. I would have figured it out.
Right.
But I probably would have been stuck there for a while.
Oof, for a
But
long
yeah, I
time.
yeah. But yeah, like I travel just currently within the US a lot, and
Mhm.
we'll be traveling to Mexico in June for
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
I'll be shooting with Lucas Entertainment.
I was gonna say, okay, that was my next thing. I was like, when is Lucas gonna call you? That was my thing. So continue. I knew they were gonna call. I knew they were gonna call you.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
I knew they were gonna call you. So go ahead, Mexico, Lucas, tell us about it.
Yeah, Lucas Entertainment. Nothing else. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna hope for the best.
yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
I
It's gonna
think
be
it'll be good. It'll be good. The guys are really hot
yeah.
and can nuts for more than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a guy that he's from France, ironically. I don't know how to, yes, I think he does say Valentine. I think it is
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a
Valentine.
sweetie.
Yeah, Amor. I love him. We were supposed to do our interview, and then something came up for me. I had to cancel. Then something came up with him. He had to cancel. So we're kind of like
Hmm.
we're going back and forth. But he's traveling right now for porn. So
Yeah,
he was in Spain and then back to Paris, and then I think he's going back to Spain. So when he settles, we'll have our talk. But
yeah.
who else do I love? Alum Wernick. I love Alum.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Alum. I've spoken with Alum, and I mean, Alum. It's so funny. He has 1 million followers, and he's like, "I follow you. I know who you are," and I'm just like, "What?" Like it's so crazy.
yeah.
Like it's so crazy. But this is our lives. We touch people's lives, and like you said, who knew that on Instagram you could move into somebody's heart with a photo or with a video, but it happens. So,
You've
all
also
right.
talked to. So I've never met him in person, but we
Uh-huh.
like I don't know. I guess we're like super good friends, just like social media buddies. Ray Cooper.
I
I
love
don't know.
Race. I
I don't know
interviewed
if like
him.
yeah. I don't know his actual real life name, but yeah.
Race. We gonna keep Race Cooper. That's his name.
Got you. Gotcha.
But
Yeah, like yeah, we I guess we like are mega fans of each other. Like I'm
yeah,
always like liking all of his stuff and vice versa.
yeah.
Hmm.
I interviewed him. He was amazing. I've talked to him,
Yeah.
to Max Connor.
Oh, you talked to Max too?
Yeah, wait, you have to go back. I sent you the list. I said this is examples of my work, but people are busy. They don't have time to watch an hour-long episode.
I'm the worst.
No, but get it. I started working my list, like I started with the adult film stars.
Max is literally the sweetest. He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, he is. I love Max. Max is he used to, like, because online it was something if you were posted to my page. So he would be like, I heard through the grapevine before our interview, he'd be like, she never posts me. So like during the our interview, I was able to tell him, I never posted you because there were so many fake pages. I didn't want, a fake page to get your shine. He was like, well, that makes sense. Because he was like, that makes sense. He's like, there are always all these fake pages all over the place. But yeah, he is a sweetheart. The last thing he was doing was he was actually himself in New York, and he was flying young performers up and coming into his house, and they were going to film for 2 weeks straight and get like a bunch of content, and he was going to help. He focused on a lot of Asian young men, a lot of Black young men, because he talked about in the industry, a lot of Black young men, a lot of Asian young men, they don't get all the handlers that, the typical Caucasian porn star gets, all the training, all the Wealth 101 management. So he was like, we got to do it for ourselves. And that's what he was doing. Last time I spoke to him, he was doing that. I don't know if it's over, but yeah, that's what he was doing. So
yeah, definitely. That's true. And I've learned so much within porn. It's not eye-opening and it's not shocking, but it's just like, are we really still here in 2022? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Who would be your dream person to work with?
Dream person to work with within
porn.
I feel like honestly I've worked with a lot of the people that I was like obsessed with and jerked off to many a night.
That's the
honestly,
best kind of career to have.
Chirac for sure. He's up there. Francois Shizat.
Oh, I love him.
Wow. Also his stylist is super cool.
Yeah.
Who else?
He's so creative. Do you see like when he changes and he morphs into features and
I love that.
He was the one that allowed me to see that fashion didn't care. He was walking runways in Europe. He was walking runways, and I was just like, wow, amazing.
Yeah, I think he's definitely like a big inspiration on like what I'm currently doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he's a big one.
Let's see, who else? Honestly, that might be it. I can't really think of much other guys. I've had sex with a lot of people.
Me too, but I've been celibate. I've been celibate for 10 years, but before that, child. You'd have thought I had a porn career, child. You'd have thought Mama was a porn star. I even had a man say to me, "My God, you pulling them in here like you working."
I'm dead. I'm screaming.
Yeah, they would say you pulling them in like you.
Oh wait, Raheem Shabazz.
Oh, you like Raheem?
Of course.
Everybody likes Raheem. Everybody likes.
I mean, he's hot.
Yeah, he is. He's super hot, and honestly, from a fashion standpoint, his body is perfect.
It kind of is, really.
From a fashion
really and truly,
his body is perfect. Like it really is. Every single part is just so well. I don't know. I wanted to interview him, but he was really busy. And when I asked him, because I've wished, like, people have reached out to me and asked me to make happy birthday videos for him. I have it. I have his phone number, like, every now and then. I think I texted him yesterday by accident, and he's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think I FaceTimed." And I was like, "It was an accident. I hit the button." So then he laughs out loud at me. I laugh out loud at him. And then we go 6 more months having each other's phone numbers and not using them. But but no, I don't know if he is himself, because he does a lot with Brazilian models, which is revolutionary, mind you. I love those boys. But I didn't know if he himself was Brazilian, because he just looks so swirly.
I'm pretty sure he's Black.
Yeah, but
I feel like he's Black.
He's so swirly, though. He's so swirly. Like he looks like he has something else in there. Yeah, he's a big. I'm gonna have to send this to him and say, look, we're talking about you now. Do this interview. No, but yeah, he is, and I admire him a lot because he's a Libra. I'm a Libra as well. So I love the fact that he walked away, built his own, and now everybody's coming to him. You know,
Love
everybody.
that.
Yeah, like I love that he did that. He's very.
My mom is a Libra and one of my boyfriends.
Oh yeah, one of your boyfriends. So that means you have more than one at one time, huh?
I
You
have
have
two.
two at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, polyamory.
Okay, polyamory. Listen to you, like, bitch, you ain't know. Yeah, that's hey, that's amazing. How does that? I don't even. We know how it works, but how do you enjoy that? Is that fun? Do you find that it's more exciting, more like?
I mean, it's great. I'm never bored. For sure.
Yeah, that's the key. That's what I was looking for. I'm never bored. That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really. I've never, listen, I'll be 40 in September. I've never had a boyfriend.
You've never had a boyfriend, like ever?
Like ever, like never, ever, never. And before the 10 years of celibacy.
Well, first of all, you don't need a fucking boyfriend. But I mean, I feel like you find your person at the right time.
But you know what it is?
The universe kind of just works in that weird way.
I'm a collector. I love beautiful men. I collect them. That's what I do.
Like Pokemon?
Yeah, like Pokemon. So I've got my Pikachus. I've got my Jigglypuffs. Yeah, I collect them. Like that's why I started with the adult film entertainment industry. I love escorts because I work all the time, and when I break my celibacy, I'm gonna still be working all the time. I need you to know what to do, how to do, when to do, and then move out my way so I don't want to have to deal with the oh I love you and oh even though all men that have ever slept with me love me, they love me. But yeah, I've just never, the boyfriend thing was just never, at first in my early years, I thought it was what I wanted, but no, it wasn't even, it was before even celebrity and public figure. I'm not a monogamous type of person. I'm just not that. I'm just not that. Yes.
I feel it.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't want this to go to waste. Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at my camera. So anyway, back to you. We're having too much fun. We're having too much fun. So your workout, because this is the thing. I know your body. You have an amazing body. Please just tell us a little bit about what a workout like you, what it looks like. Like, or is it more of your diet? Is it more because you, like, I love, this is the thing. You can tell you from fashion because you're still thin, but everything is so cut and big and, you know, like, how do you get that? How do you get that?
I've gotten into a really ridiculous routine that I don't know, I would say it's going on like a year and a half, actually 2 years now, just this, but so you know Chris Hemsworth?
Yes.
So he has his app Center where he has all his workouts and like meal plans and all that shit. So like, I don't know, a friend of mine put me onto it. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Okay. And I just randomly started using it. And that's where I started the fitness thing. I guess it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was using the app, just working out once a day, just doing cute little things, like whether it was like, I don't know, 20-pound dumbbells, like doing some curls or whatever. But I was using the app, but I've only used that app for my workouts. And so now the routine is, they have these, like, I don't know, maybe challenges.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do the little challenges, like a 6-week challenge. Morning is cardio and calisthenics and pretty much no weight workouts. Okay. So yeah, and it kind of helps with my flexibility and shit too, because I like to be bendy. Yeah. And then in the evening, I'll do weights. So focusing on one body part. So like arms, chest, shoulders.
Yeah, I'm a big chest person. I love a man's chest. Like
like
literally, there's so many men like that. Literally, I don't have to see their face. Like if you show me a picture of their chest, I can tell you exactly who it is. They don't have to have tattoos or anything. Like I study body. Like I just do. And,
I mean, I definitely didn't have a chest before, so working out. Yeah, it's been fun. Like I'm like all my life, it's been flat as fuck. So like now having somewhat of pecs is kind of fun.
You got pecs. They look good. We've seen it. They look good. They look good. They look delicious.
Yeah, and then as far as food, like I kind of eat whatever, honestly. Like I eat fairly clean. Like meat, like I eat all the food groups. So lots of meat, veggies, fruit, whole grains. But I don't shy away from pizza and burgers and ice cream.
Yeah.
Because I work out so much. Like I work out 2 hours a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. But I work out a lot, and I work out 7 days a week. So I'm like, I could afford to eat a burger if I want to have a burger.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, mister. So tell me, what is your Friday night going to consist of after you get off of this amazing interview?
Honestly, I'm going to make dinner, and I'm going to have a nice chill night by my lonesome because I don't know, this retrograde is killing me. So you ever have those days where you're like, you know what? I think I need to not be around a ton of people and just have a me night. So I think it's going to be that kind of night. And I'm going to do that and then recharge so I could be a good boyfriend when I see my other boyfriend tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me 3 words that inspire you, empower you.
Inspire me and empower me?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I don't know. Creativity. Inspiration. Fame.
Yes. Yes. I like them. Yes. Now tell everyone where we can find you on social media, everything. I'm going, and then you'll text it to me, but you'll text it to me so I get it all right. But tell everyone where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Jonzu, Jonzu. On Twitter at Jordan Jameson X, only one. Yeah. And also on OnlyFans, Jordan Jameson XXX, so 3 X's.
Yes.
And I think that's it actually. I don't have YouTube or any of that other stuff.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much for taking this opportunity to talk to me. I have enjoyed myself.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this was the only interview, and that was the thing. I booked it because I knew I wanted to talk to you because I'm going to tell you, I'm such a huge fan of you.
I'm a huge fan of you, honestly. I followed you for a hot minute, so I'm also a big fan.
So I knew I wanted to talk to you. So I was like, clear my schedule. I'm going to talk to him. So I just want to say thank you for taking this opportunity. And I hope that you walk away from this seeing that I will always be in your corner. You have my number. You text me like we've been texting. I will always be there. If somebody's bothering you and you need a famous person, you need a famous person to blow the whistle. Yeah. I will blow the whistle. So I will always be there. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Jonzu. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Say goodbye, but don't go anywhere.
Bye, everyone.
There it goes.
There it goes. I was delayed.
Yeah. So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah. I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to